What's up, everyone? Misora here. I just wanted to bring you a deck profile for Eosmon Rush. Uh, Eosmon Rush was a deck that people got the idea for in BT08 with Chimeramon. Mostly everyone thinks the deck is a meme, which it kind of is, but I've been playing a lot with it recently, and I figured out like how to make it slightly playable with slight draw power. You can comment down below to give me some suggestions about it or thoughts about it. But this build that I have, it's been working out so far with me. It's beaten Eosmon. What's it called? Mega Garbo Shiva? No, yeah, it beats Shivamon, and it's just been taking some wins here and there. But I'll let you decide. Starting off with the eggs for Sunamon. These are going to be your draw engine for the deck. It says, when attacking once per turn, if this Digimon has unidentified in its type, draw 1. And you want to be attacking with your Caramons every time you have a chance, just to chip away at that security. And even if it dies, it's still something that you can bring back with Chimeramon later. But for now, this is the best egg for the deck. You only run 4 of, and I think that's still a good ratio because you want to see this egg every time for that draw power. And then we're running 4 of the BT2 Caramon. This one I'm still waiting for an English print to get mailed to me, but you want to be running 4 of these cards because it's inheritable. It says your turn, and this is not once per turn, by the way. When you play another Digimon of the same name as this Digimon, trigger draw 1. So, as you can already imagine, you want to Digivolve this over your level 6 Eosmon because, like I said, this deck does not have that much draw power, so you want a lot as possible. And this card allows you, every time you would swing with an Eosmon and you hard drop another Eosmon, it would draw you a card every single time, and it's honestly fantastic. I've had games where I wish this was my rookie underneath a level 6 Eosmon, and you want to see this as much as possible, and if you can, have this under your level 6 Eosmon. Next, we're running 4 of the BT5 Caramon. So this Caramon is kind of a double-edged sword. You kind of don't want to be hard dropping this every time because you kind of want to hard drop it if you don't have the Kurisarimon that gives rush in your hand, or if you don't have an Arata. It's a good way to search them out. But having this, dropping it late game is kind of not advised because what it says is, on play, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, add 1 card with unidentified in its type and 1 Arata Sonata card among them to your hand, and then place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. It's good just to search out your pieces, but you don't want to be hard playing this a lot of the time because you'll be milling down Manoa's level 5 Eosmons that you could have used to have in your hand, or your level 6 Eosmons. So make sure most of the time Evo into this and just use it for draw power with Sunamon and just to get that chip damage in. But if you're missing your pieces, this is a good card. Otherwise, not advised to hard play, but this is just 4 for the unidentified trait, so you can draw from Sunamon. And next we have 4 BT3 Chumons. Just like any memory blocker, you want to prevent your opponent from gaining memory by any means necessary, because every other deck completely abuses memory boosts, and sometimes those decks require them to have at least 1 memory to do anything So having 4 of these is, you want to see them. It stops a lot of decks that just rely on memory gain, other than Tamer effects. So even if it dies, you always have one at the ready just to hard play again and stop their plays. So if you noticed, I'm running a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 rookies in this deck. Um, it's kind of needed. Most of the Eosmon Rush decks that I've been seeing, they only run eight rookies, and most of the time when you open your hand, if you don't see a rookie, you're just going to be hard playing the Eosmon for 5, which is fine, but you kind of want to have that draw power with the rookies. You want to see them in hand if you can. If you're going first, you don't want to give your opponent 5 memories, so just hard playing a rookie for 3 is always a good choice. And then evolving in the back into one of the Karamons is always a good thing too, because the next turn you're going to be swinging for 2 checks, and you're going to be drawing from the Sunamon here, and you can memory choke, like prevent them from gaining memory with Chumon. So I've opted to play 12 rookies instead of 8, like usually, because I've been seeing it like have some good consistency in this deck, and it's been helping it out a lot too. So next for the level 4s, the star of the show, 4 Kurisarimons. This is the Kurisarimon that you always want to evo in any of these rookies into, because its inherited effect is all of your other my turn, your turn, all of your other Digimon with the same name as this Digimon gain Rush, which is going to help immensely your Eosmon plays by swinging with them like multiple times. And then it also has a neat ability of when Digivolving, if you don't have an Arata Sonata in play, you may play one from your hand without paying its memory cost. And this is super good because, alright, your opponent puts you to 3, you hard drop this one, right? This is the start of the play of the game. You hard play this for 3, okay? You search for one of these if you don't have them in hand already, and you can get an errata from this, and then you can just digivolve over it with Kurisarimon and drop an errata at the same turn, which you're essentially gaining a 5 cost memory value out of a 2 cost, which is super good. So yeah, other than this, it's a must-have in this deck. Then we're running 2 Kurisarimons. This is the promo one. What this one does is, your turn, all of your Digimon with the same name as this Digimon gains Decoy, Black and White. This card is super useful in matchups against security control heavy decks where they rely on their security to destroy any Digimon, or they can just destroy anything from their hand. This would prevent your level 6 Eosmon from being destroyed easily. So if you see your opponent playing security control or anything that they rely on option cards a lot, then you want to have this under your level 6 Eosmon. And even if you don't, if you play against something that's like security focused, yeah, you can digivolve your Karamon into this, and then digivolve it into Chimeramon, and then digivolve into the level 6 Eosmon. And yeah, it'll give your level 6 Eosmon protection from security effects or option cards with this. So it's good to have it 2 of. And then we're running 2 Mechanorimons. Having blockers is always nice. I've gone matches where I wish I had a blocker, especially against Eosmon or Bellstarmon that loves abusing their scatter modes. Hard dropping this at the start will prevent you from being chipped, damaged. This also prevents XVmon from swinging in uncomfortably with that jamming effect. so they'll need to answer Mechanorimon to finish you off. So this is a good card to have at 2 because it can block infinitely times, and yeah, it's good to have at 2. So now for the level 5s, we're going to be running 4 Chimeramons. Chimeramon is basically what's going to tie these cards to Eosmon. It's super important to have it under any of these under any of the stacks, because you want to go into your level 6 Eosmon as soon as possible to start doing your plays. It also has the nice effect of giving minus 1000 DP to your opponent's Digimon for every color source it has under it. So this deck doesn't run a lot of colors, so you're usually going to be giving 2000 DP to your opponent's Digimon, but that's more than enough to like destroy or swing over something if you like. So yeah, having Chimeramon at 4 is a must-have for this deck. Next, we're running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 Eosmon. So Eosmon is definitely going to be your aggressive push with this deck. Yeah, you can hard play it, then start swinging, start swarming the field. They'll always have to be answering Eosmon. It's not a question of just leaving it there. If they proceed to leave it there, they don't deal with it, then it's just going to keep multiplying. And it's also a good way to start aggressing early. Like your opponent will have to start answering Eosmon. It's good to put early aggression into your opponent's security while you build up in the back with your Caramons, your Kurisaris, and then you can even pass turn with Chimeramon because it evolves for 4, and you're not passing like a lot of memory onto them while this card is gaining you a lot of early aggression. So having it at 12 is it's good. I've tested it out at 13, but I feel like having it at 13 is already bricky because you're going to be opening with a lot of Eosmons, which you don't want to because you want that draw power from the rookies, from the Sunamon. So having it at 12, I've been like not having an issue of not seeing it when I need it. So 12 is a good ratio for this deck. Next, for the level 6s, we're only running 4 level 6s, which is going to be 4 copies of Eosmon level 6, which is the BT6 version. Its effect is when digivolving for each Tamer you have in play, you may place 1 level 5 or lower Eosmon from your trash at the bottom of this Digivolution's cards. It's great to get rid of something on the field, and it's great to just have those sources. So you're going to be having a big stack under this Chimeramon. You're going to already be having your rookie, your champion, and your egg. Plus, if you put 2 more sources under it or more, it's already a 3-check Eosmons, 3 security check Eosmon, which is pretty nice. Also, it's good to like control the board by just deleting something. It has no level requirement. If you place 2 cards or more under with this effect, delete one of your opponent's Digimon, which it's always welcomed. So 4 of these is a must. I was thinking I used to run the other level 6 Eosmon that evolves for 3. I think it's from BT8 or BT7. I forgot. I think it's from BT7. Yeah. But I found that evoing into it for 3 cost is pretty good, but other than that, it's just sitting there and it's not doing anything for your deck. Otherwise, your opponent has to, just like the level 5s, it has to answer this. If it has no answer for this, you can just simply swing for 2 checks or if you have enough sources under it, 3 checks. And that's super awesome, and that's super welcoming. I've gone games where like this card has a whole bunch of sources. It can literally swing for 4 checks if you have enough under it. And I used to run just 2 copies of the level 6 Eosmon from BT7, but even then, you just want to see this one most of the time, just to control the board, destroy something on the field. So yeah, just running 4 level 6 is good enough for me. Then onto the Tamers, we're running 4 Manoas. 4 Manoas is going to be your memory setter. You want to see this card because it's going to let you search your deck for your other Eosmon pieces. And if you don't see errata, it could also search for Tamers. It's a memory setter, and then your turn when you play an Eosmon, you may suspend this Tamer to reveal the top 3, add 1 Tamer card or 1 card with Eosmon in its name, set the rest of the cards to the bottom of the deck. Then it also has a neat second ability where while you have an Eosmon in play, your opponent's Tamers don't unsuspend during your unsuspend phase. That's super helpful in matchups against green, where they like suspending their Tamers just to gain value out of them. So you're instantly tell them no with Manoa. Sadly, it kind of just doesn't do anything against hybrids, because the hybrids don't need to be suspended to use their effects, which is pretty bad. Well, not pretty bad, pretty sad, but it's still pretty good to have it at 4. That second ability is always good to have a way just to control your opponent's board, more so their Tamers. Next, we're running 2 copies of Errata Sonata. This card is mainly used to gain you a memory, because you're always going to have an unidentified in trash, because you're going to be swinging with them to gain value out of Sunamon to draw. So they're most of the time going to die. If they don't, your opponent has to kill them, because then they're just going to swing again and draw more from Sunamon. So it says at the start of your turn, if you have a Digimon with unidentified in its traits in your trash, you gain a memory. So this combined with Manoa, it's already giving you 4 memory at the start. It's already pretty good if you have it at 2 up. I'm running it at 2 because having it more than 1, you're mostly going to always see it in your hand, and you just don't want to hard play it because it's just going to pass turn when you could have been putting another body on the field. Also, having it at 2 is good because your Kurisarimon here, it's not like the Renamon decks where Karamon, I mean. What is it? Yeah, it's the Kurisarimon. So the Kurisarimon says if you don't already have an Errata Sonata in play. So it's not like you can abuse this card to have multiple on the field for free, like Sakuyamon. So that's why just running it at 2 is ideal for this deck, because 2 is all you need really. Having it more is just overkill, because if you have 2 on the field plus Manoa, you're going to be starting your turn at 5 memory, and that's already pretty good enough, because you can hard play Eosmon and then Digivolve into this if you need to get rid of something on the field. Yeah, you're going to be passing your turn to 5, but you're already going to be doing that if you're going to be hard playing this for 5. So why not have something that can delete something and swing for multiple checks next turn? Also, if you already have the Eosmon in play with Chimeramon and the Rush element under it, you can, like, if you're at 5, just hard play Eosmon for 5, and then you can just start swinging. So just having that 2 up is good for this deck. I never have a problem with seeing it. Manoa can search it easily from the Eosmons. It's pretty good if you hit it in security. Even better if you get it early on, and you can just Digivolve your Kurisarimon to play it for free. But yeah, having it at 2 is pretty good. Next, for the options, we're only running 4 option cards. 2 Ultimate Flares. You need some type of removal in this deck other than Eosmon. I've been debating whether to put Iron Fisted Onslaught instead of Ultimate Flare, but I think Ultimate Flare gets more value out of you can delete a Digimon and wipe their board if they choose to be greedy with their level 3s. Kind of doesn't work against decks that just hard play something that's above level 3. Um, but that's why we're only running it at 2. Eosmon here is here just to delete those Digimon that otherwise Ultimate Flare can't touch. But it's always good to have. It'll delete a stack. Your opponent's not going to see it coming. I mean, they're going to see black, but they're not going to anticipate Ultimate Flare and security, so having that 2 is always a good thing. And then to round it off, 2 copies of win rate 60%. Win rate 60% is really good because so if you have your Chimeramon on the field and you have an Eosmon on the field, you want to Digivolve into this, but you don't want to pass turn to your opponent. So win rate's going to help you. Most of the time, you're going to either have an Eosmon in the trash, and you're going to have an Eosmon at hand. So win rate will allow you the next time one of your Digimon Digivolves this turn, you may trash one Digimon card in your hand of the same color as the Digivolving Digimon to reduce the memory cost by 4. So you're essentially evoing into this Eosmon for 3 anyways. So having it at 2 is good. Anymore, your hand kind of gets clunky. Back then I used to try 4 of. Yeah, you see it a lot, but most of the time you never have the play to like Digivolve into your level 6 Eosmon from hand like right away, so it's kind of a dead card in your hand. So having it at 2 is pretty good. So that's the whole deck. Give some suggestions down at the comments if you're interested. If you have any questions, ask me. It's a pretty neat deck. I mean, I've been trying to not make it like, I don't want it to be tier 1, but I want it to be playable. A lot of people have been dismissing it, saying that it's a meme, but having a meme but it being playable at the same time is also pretty good. And then I know there's a lot of people who wish Eosmon was better, so this is the only deck I think that makes Eosmon kind of like a threat nowadays, because if you're running it with its green like variant, yeah, you're getting that draw power and you're getting that level 4 Eosmon to Digivolve in the back, and then you do all that, but it's just there, it just doesn't do much. Your opponent's going to be like, okay, you're just going to swing with Warmon or Morphomon and just get your pieces, and then the level 5 Eosmons can just simply die. Like, they die so easily. So you want to run something that has that pressure, that has that draw power from green, but it can also pose a threat later on by just simply jogressing into Chimeramon, evoing into this for 5 or 3 if you have 60 win rate, and then just swinging for game with your level 5 Eosmon with Rush. So yeah, just give your suggestions out in the comments below. I know I haven't been uploading that much to this channel. That's mostly because my computer can't handle matches, or else I would record them. But yeah, I still play a lot, and I guess I can make more deck profiles in the future if this one, like, people really like it. So yeah, just leave me a comment below and let me know what you think. So, Misora, over and out. See ya.